My boyfriend smashed our television because his football team lost. I was 2 feet away when the screen exploded. We'd been dating since June, moved in together September 4th. 2 weeks. That's how long I lived with him before I saw who he really was. He supported Southampton. I didn't know much about football, but I knew they lost a lot. He'd get tense during matches. Quiet, jaw tight. I thought it was passion. Every fan gets wound up right. That's what I told myself. That Friday night they lost again. I was on the sofa next to him when the final whistle blew. He didn't move for 3 seconds. Then he stood up, grabbed the remote, and hurled it at the screen so hard the television rocked off the stand. When it didn't break, he grabbed the whole set and threw it to the floor. Glass everywhere, plastic shards bouncing off the walls. The sound was so loud my ears rang. I was cornered, sofa behind me, him between me and the door, screaming at the top of his lungs about the referee and the manager and how every player on that squad deserved to be relegated to hell. Fists clenched. Face a color I've never seen on a human being. I'm a nurse. I work in A&E. I have held the hands of women with shattered cheekbones and told them they were safe now. I have documented bruises shaped like knuckles and files that end up in court. I know what the beginning of something terrible looks like because I see where it ends up every single week. And in that moment on that sofa, I thought I was going to die. Over Southampton losing another match in a season full of them. I was 29 years old calculating whether I could make it past him to the front door before he turned his rage from the screen to me. He didn't touch me that night. He stopped. Stood there breathing like an animal with glass all around his feet. Walked to the bedroom and slammed the door so hard the frame cracked. Called my sister. She picked me up 20 minutes later. I sat in her car shaking so hard she had to buckle my seatbelt for me. My brother-in-law said he and his mates would collect my things. I was never going back. Then he called and called and called. I'm so sorry. It will never happen again. I love you so much. I'll get help. Please don't throw away what we have over one bad night. I went back. I know. The nurse who documents domestic violence injuries for a living went back to the man who made her think she was going to die over a football match. I have no excuse that doesn't sound pathetic. 6 months he was perfect. Gentle. Loving. Flowers, dinner, held me like I was precious. I convinced myself the television was a one-time breakdown and the man in front of me was the real one. Then Southampton had a bad run and the jaw tightening came back. The silence. The fists. First time he hit me was over dishes in the sink. Open hand across my face. He cried after. Said he didn't know what came over him. Second time I came home late from a shift. Grabbed my arm so hard the bruise lasted 2 weeks. I wore long sleeves to work in July. Third time. Fourth. Fifth. Lost count somewhere in the second year. Always bruises. Never the face. Never anywhere visible. He knew exactly what he was doing and where to do it. That's not rage. That's calculation. 3 years I stayed. 3 years covering marks I could identify by medical terminology because that's what my training taught me. Contusions. Hematomas. Soft tissue damage. I knew the clinical words for what he was doing to my body and I still made dinner every night and asked how his day was. Told myself it wasn't that bad. Other women had it worse. The women in A&E were different because their injuries were more serious. As if there's a threshold of damage you have to reach before you're allowed to call it what it is. 6 months ago, he broke my nose. We were in the kitchen. I said something he didn't like. Don't even remember what. His forehead connected with the bridge of my nose and I heard the crack before I felt the pain. Blood everywhere. Down my shirt. On the floor. Pooling in my hands while I pressed them to my face trying to hold myself together literally. Looked at him through tears and blood. He was standing there with his hands at his sides. Not sorry. Not panicking. Just watching me. Like he was waiting to see what I'd do next. Drove myself to hospital. My own colleagues treated me. They looked at my face and I saw the recognition. They'd seen this injury on 100 women sitting in that same chair. Now I was one of them. Filed a report that night. Moved into my sister's the next morning. 6 months of silence. Not one word. Never again. I'm in counseling now. My therapist says I need to stop punishing myself for going back. Says manipulation doesn't care about your job title or how many victims you've treated. Says it's designed to work on everyone. I'm trying to believe her. Most days I can't. 3.5 years ago I sat on my sister's couch saying I'd never go back. I did. It nearly cost me my face. Almost cost me my life. If you're reading this in the part where he's sorry and he's changed and it was only once, it wasn't. The television becomes your arm becomes your ribs become your nose. It always escalates. Every single time.